Hi, this is the visualization for Group 13, and we've tried answering the question of how baseball has changed over the years. The first visualization tries to address the question of how the introduction of the designated hitter rule in 1970 affected baseball. We've kept this as our main visualization, and the key thing to note over here is that this visualization has a slider that you basically move by dragging your cursor across it. And as you move your cursor, you basically change the years, and that is reflected in the box over here. And also moving the slider affects the other visualizations too, but I'll get to that in a while. Regarding this particular visualization, it shows three different line graphs for three different baseball statistics, and it has a red color line for the American League, the blue color line for the National League, and the lines are clickable. So like I can click on the red line and it highlights. I can unselect it by clicking elsewhere, and I can do the same for the blue line. Another thing about this visualization is that we've added an explanation for the trends in the tooltip. For example, over here I can see a spike, and that's because the formation of the Federal League in 1914. And something similar can be seen over here. There's a spike, and that's because of the league expansion in 1961. And we've included other events too, but I'll get to that in a while. Regarding the next visualization, it shows how baseball has grown internationally, and this works by the slider in the first visualization. As I change the years, the colors of the map change, and the scale is given over here. The darkest country, of course, being the country that where baseball has grown the most, and it's no surprise throughout history. The United States has been the country where baseball has grown the most. We can see that over the years, for example, in 1901, baseball was growing in Russia quite a bit, but that was pretty short lived because that didn't really happen anytime else. But we can see Canada has been baseball has been growing in Canada a lot, and around the 1950s and 60s, it's been growing in Mexico and a few Latin American countries too. And then around the 1990s, baseball has been growing in Australia quite a lot. Coming to our third visualization, it's a stacked bar chart that shows how the average salaries of the American and national leagues have changed over the years. The salaries have been adjusted to inflation, so you can compare the bars among themselves, and the bars are clickable. But how this works is basically by the slider of the first visualization. As you move the slider, the bar of the year the slider is on gets highlighted. So from 1985 to 2016, the bars get highlighted as you move the slider across them. The best part of our visualizations, I feel, is the fact that how all of them come along to form a story and a narrative of how baseball has changed over the years. Every visualization over here addresses how different aspects of baseball have changed over time. And you can see all of that just by dragging your cursor across the screen. For the major part, we weren't really surprised. Baseball really has come a long way, and we did expect to see increase in statistics and salaries. But it was really interesting to see how historical events really affected baseball and the statistics over here. For example, as you can see, there was an increase in statistics over here, and that's because around 1999, a lot of players started taking steroids. So that was really interesting to see. And also the fact that even though baseball has grown internationally quite a bit, it's never really gathered any traction in Asian, African, and European countries. So the takeaway here would be baseball really has grown a lot as a sport, but it still really has a long way to go.